Hello students, I hope you all did your RJUKT set September 2021 well. In this session we are going to discuss the mathematic bits of question booklet code A of RJUKT set September 2021 IIIT entrance. Let us discuss the first problem. The midpoint of the class is x and y is the upper class limit in a continuous frequency distribution. Which of the following would be lower class limit of the class? So let us see what is given. Given midpoint of the class means lower boundary plus upper boundary by 2 is equal to x. And y is the upper class limit. So, upper class limit is equal to y. Now, what we have to do? We have to find lower class limit in terms of x and y. So, from the first one, what is L? L is equal to 2x minus u. But u is y. So, what is L? L is equal to 2x minus y. So, the answer is A, option A. Or we can solve this from the options also. Here they gave y is the upper limit. And if we add the lower limit and upper limit and if we divide that by 2, we get the midpoint. So we have different 4 options. Let us take the first option 2x minus y, add upper class limit. So 2x minus y plus y is 2x. If we divide that with 2, we get x. That's a midpoint. So, the option is A. Let us move to the second problem. It's from sets. Given that AB are two non-empty sets, then we have to find what will be A minus A intersection B intersection B minus A. So, consider a Venn diagram. So, this is set A and consider this as set B. A, B. So, what will be this? Only A. Only A means A minus B. And this part will be only B. That is B minus A. And the common to both A and B will be A intersection B. So, what they asked? A minus B. This is the complete A. If we take out A minus B region, then what will be remaining? A intersection B. A intersection B. Consider the second expression, B minus A. So this is B. If we take out B minus A, what is remaining? A intersection B. So if we take the intersection part of these two, we get A intersection B. So the answer is C. Let us move to the third one. Match the values to column A with those of column B. So if we observe this problem, we think that it will take a lot of time. But it's a very simple problem. Observe the fourth equation, x plus y equal to 7. What it means? If we add x and y, x coordinate and y coordinate, it should be equal to 7. So, where is that? Yeah, we have B. 4 plus 3 is 7, 2 plus 5 is 7. So, fourth will be mapped to B. So, fourth will be mapped to B. We have two options. So, let us see the first one. What is first one? X minus y is equal to 7. That means if we subtract y coordinate from x, we will get 7. Let us see that. Minus 3 minus 4, no. 3 minus 4, no. 4 plus 3, 7. Yeah, here we have. 4 plus 3, 7. Let us check the second one. 2 plus 5, 7. So, the option is A. So, the first one will be mapped to A. So, how many options we are having? 2 options. What are they? B and D. Let us check the second one. 4x minus y minus is equal to 13. So A and B are completed. Let us check C. For 4, 16, 16 plus 3, 19. So C is not mapped to 2. So 2 will be mapped to D. Okay. So 2 will be mapped to D. Let us check that. 4 comma 3. Whether we will check whether it is satisfied by the second equation or not. 4 into 4 minus 3 is equal to 16 minus 3 is equal to 13. It is satisfied. So 1 is mapped to A, 4 is mapped to B, and second one is mapped to D, and third one is mapped to C. Which option? We have D. Let us move to the fourth problem. The following steps are involved in finding the value of sin x if secant x plus tan x is equal to p. So this problem, secant x plus tan x is equal to p. They have given secant x plus tan x is equal to p, and we have to find sin x, and here they are asking us to arrange the steps in order to find sin x from secant x plus tan x is equal to p. We know that how to solve it. So first what we have to do, we have to recall the formula secant square x minus tan square x is equal to 1. So this is the first step. B is the first step. Okay. So B is the first step. Next, after that, if a square minus b square is equal to 1 means a plus b into a minus b is equal to 1. We rewrite it as secant theta plus tan theta into secant theta minus tan theta is equal to 1. That is the second step. Later, if we bring secant theta minus tan theta this side, we get secant theta plus tan theta equal to 1 by secant theta minus tan theta. What it means? Those two are reciprocal to each other. So C will be third step. Next, what we will do, if we have secant theta plus tan theta is equal to p, then secant theta minus tan theta is equal to how much? 1 by p. So A will be the fourth step. So we have two equations, secant x plus tan x is equal to p, secant x minus tan x is equal to 1 by p. If we add those two, we get secant x, we get cos x, from there we get sin x. Okay. So E will be the final step. Okay. So let us see that. What it is? B, D, C, A, E. This is the order. Where is that? B, D, C, A, E. So option C is the right answer. Let us move to the fifth problem. Match the following. Median of triangles. In the left hand side we have given medians of triangles, altitudes, perpendicular bisectors, angular bisectors. In the right hand side they gave circumcenter, centroid, orthocenter, incenter. That means we have to find the point of concurrence of medians, altitudes, perpendicular bisectors and angular bisectors. So medians of triangle, point of concurrence is centroid. So 1 is mapped to B. 1 is mapped to B. And altitudes of a triangle, the point of concurrence of altitudes of a triangle is orthocenter. So 2 is mapped to C. So perpendicular bisectors of sides of a triangle, its point of concurrence is circumcenter. So 3 is mapped to A. The last one, fourth, what is remaining? A, B, C, D. Let us see that. What is D? Incenter. So the point of concurrence of angular bisectors of a triangle is incenter. So B, C, A, D. Where is that option? Option A. It's a direct question. Let us move to the sixth problem. And sixth problem is related to logarithms. And if we observe this, within a fraction of a second we can answer this problem if we observe this carefully. What is the fourth one? Fourth one is 1 plus 1 by log 3 to the base 5. So this is equal to 1 plus log 5 to the base 3. This is equal to, how we can write 1, since here we have base 3, we can write it as log 3 to the base 3 plus log 5 to the base 3. So that is equal to log 15 to the base 3. So where is that? P. So fourth one is mapped to P, is matched to P. We have only one option, B. So we can easily answer that B is the answer. We can easily identify that. Let us check the first one also. First bit. Log root 729 to the base 3 root 3. How we can write root 729? Root 729 is nothing but square root of 3 power 6. That is equal to 3 cube. What is 3 root 3? 3 into 3 power 1 by 2, that is equal to 3 power 3 by 2. So let us see what is log. Log root 729 to the base 3 root 3. That is equal to log 3 cube to the base 3 power 3 by 2. So that is equal to 2 by 3. Since it is the power in the base of a logarithm, into 3 log 3 to the base 3. So that is equal to 3 get cancelled. We have 2 into 1 is 2. That means 1 is mapped to where is to R. 1 is mapped to R. Let us move to the second one. Let us move to the second bit. What is the second bit? Log square root of y root y into root y to the base root y. To the base root y. So let us see this. See here, we have a square root of here and we have root y here. So what we will do, we take out this root. So how we can write 1 by 2 by 1 by 2 log y into root y to the base y. So this is equal to 1 by 2 get cancelled. So we have log y into square root of, what is y into root y? Y power 3 by 2 to the base y. So that is equal to log y power 1 plus 3 by 4. So it will be 7 by 4 to the base y. So y power 7 by 4 to the base y, that is equal to 7 by 4 into log y to the base y, that is equal to 7 by 4. So where is the 7 by 4? We have cube. So 2 is mapped to cube. So 2 is mapped to cube. So let us see the next one. What is the third one? Third one is log x power 5 to the base 81 is equal to 1 by 4. Let us see that. What's that one? Third one. Log x power 5 to the base 81 is equal to 1 by 4. So log x power 5. What is 81? How we can write 81? We can write 81 as 3 power 4. 1 by 4 is nothing but 5 by 4. So that implies, so 5 by 4 into log x to the base 3 is equal to 5 by 4. So from this it is very clear that 5 by 4 get cancelled. So x is equal to 3. Since x is equal to 3, what they asked, log x power minus 2 to the base 3. So log 3 power minus 2 to the base 3. So minus 2 into log 3 to the base 3. So the answer is minus 2. So the third one is matched to S. So what is the answer? First one goes to R, second one Q, third one S, fourth one P. So the option is B. But no need to solve all the 4 bits here. Since the fourth one is mapped to P, let us check 1 or 2 more options. Okay, we have only one option matching the fourth one with P. So the answer is the option B. Let us move to the next problem. 7th problem. The width of each of 6 classes in a continuous frequency distribution is 2.4. They have given that width is equal to 2.4. And the lower class boundary of the lowest class is 10.4. So lowest class is 10.4. This is the first class, 10.4. And what will be the upper boundary of the first class? 10.4 plus 2.4. It's nothing but 12.8. How many classes we are having? We are having 6 classes. Okay, we are having 6 classes. So 12.8 plus 2.4 will be 15.2, and 15.2 plus 2.4 will be 17.6. 17.6 plus 2.4 will be 20, and 20 plus 2.4 will be 22.4, and 22.4 plus 2.4 will be 24.8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 classes. So what will be the upper boundary of the highest class? 24.8. So what is the option? This is option C. Let us move to the next problem, 8th one. This is from mensuration, a direct question. So what they have given, match the following. Here all the shapes having their radius as R. So let us move to the right hand side instead of left hand side. What is given in right hand side? Base area of a cylinder. What will be the base of a cylinder? It's nothing but a circle. So area of a circle is pi r square. So the fourth one is mapped to P. How many options we are having? 2 options. Okay. Let us check which one is correct, either B or C. Next, curved surface area of a hemisphere. Curved surface area of hemispheres, Q will be mapped to 2 pi r square. 2 pi r square is the curved surface area of hemisphere. It's a direct question, it's a direct formula. Total surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r square. So 1 is mapped to R. And what's the last one? Total surface area of hemisphere, it is 3 pi r square. So 2 is mapped to S. So we have option C. It's a very direct question from mensuration depending upon the formula. Next, let us move to 9th problem, assertion and reasoning. So we have to solve these problems from 9th, assertion and reasoning problems, depending upon the given choices A, B, C, D. So what they have given assertion, the statement is HCF of 405 and 2520 is 45. So how we can write 2520? It's nothing but 45 into 56. And what about 405? It's nothing but 45 into 9. So what is the highest common factor for these two? It's 45, since 56 and 9 have no other common factor. Okay, so HCF of 2520 and 405 is 45. So assertion is true. So we can have option A, option B, option C as assertion is right, true. And let us move to the reason. If A divides B, then HCF of A comma B is equal to A. This is a true statement, but this statement is not the correct reason for the assertion. See here, if we have 405 is divisible by 2520, then we simply write the HCF is different. If we have 2520 and 45, HCF will be 45. But what they have given? They have given 405. Of course, this statement is true, but this is not the correct reason for finding HCF of 405 and 2520. That means both are true, but reason is not the correct explanation for assertion. So what is the option? Option is B. Let us move to the 10th problem. The same model, assertion and reasoning. N of A is equal to 5, N of B is equal to 7. Then the maximum cardinality of A union B is 12. Here A and B are two sets. So they have given N of A is equal to 5. N of B is equal to 7. What is the relation between N of A, N of B and A union B? We have one relation. N of A union B is equal to N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B. In order to have the maximum cardinality for A union B, we should not have this minus, isn't it? That means N of A intersection B should be equal to 0. When it will be 0, A intersection B is an empty set. That means it is equal to pi. When A intersection B is equal to pi, we say that A and B are disjoint. A and B are disjoint sets. So, and what will be the maximum value? 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. So, that's a given. So, assertion is true. When this is possible, when these two are A and B are disjoint. That means P and Q are disjoint if A intersection B, P is equal to pi. So, both are true and the reason is also correct for assertion. So, what is the option? Option A.